so much for keeping it K24. We are glad you are watching. Well, my name is Shiko Kaitani, and on this social hour, we are talking about responsible consumption this festive season. We want you to make that pledge that you're not going to step behind the wheel after drinking. And most importantly, we ask you that question, are we doing enough to curb the drinking and driving on our roads? We know we've lost thousands, so many on these roads because of drinking and driving. So what do we do? How do we continue these conversations even right in our own homes? 21222 is that SMS number if you want to text in. Of course, if you want to call in, the numbers are at the bottom of your screen. But if you prefer to actually talk to us, at least, or chat with us on our social media platforms at K24 TV on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Still in studio is David Kiarie, who is the chairman of the Road Safety Association of Kenya. And we also still have EABL's Corporate Relations Director, Eric Kiniti, with us. Before we continue our discussion with my gentlemen in studio, let's get back to our phone lines. I do understand we've got Magonga on the line. Good morning.
Good morning, Shiko. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you so much, too. Now, I think the gentlemen right there are trying to address this issue of drunken driving.
Yeah.
But I think one of the biggest problems that we have is the training that is involved here and the level of corruption that is on the roads.
Yeah.
As much as the gentleman there is saying that there are people who've been found culpable, like trying to bribe the NTSA officers and the cops.
Yeah.
There is a big disconnect between those two units, the NTSA and the police. Because he might say that they are working in collaboration with the police to bring this thing to try to check the drunken driving on the road.
Yeah.
But these officers, as much as they're trying to say that they are above board, it is a foregone conclusion that these guys are bribed right, left, and center. If they don't get you that drunken driving, they're going to get you on another offense.
Yeah. Because
cops in Kenya are notorious. It's something that is on record. So one thing that should be done, and everybody has been shouting from the mountaintops about the efficiency of the police and everything.
Yeah.
One of the things, the training is wanting. Then these cops, I don't know why, it's the training that makes them emotional or it makes them jealous. Because at times, you're just having your own fun, you're dressed well, smelling good, having your car is clean, you're going out, you've not even drunk. But they just pin it on you and that is it.
Yeah.
One thing we should insist on the training of the cops. And they should detach themselves from the civilians. Detach in the sense that don't put too much personal feelings into this. Be professional. The lack of professionalism is hit the rooftops.
Yeah. Okay.
Shiko, I'm telling you, like a driver, and I'm non-alcoholic. I've been arrested. I'm a Muslim, by the way. I've been arrested. I know there are Muslims who drink, but I personally am a teetotaler. But there are individuals like me. I was arrested for drunk driving, and I'm a totally sober guy, which even shocked my own mom. And even your mom comes and tells you, "Oh, hey, I'm a gonga. Nowadays you drink," which is tricky because they sort of intimidate you. They come with a lot of
force,
all those things, their language and everything. So tell those gentlemen. I mean, let's go back to the training for everything.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Magonga, for sharing your story with us and, of course, giving us your point of view. I hope you've, taken note on what he said. Joshua is also on the line. Good morning, Joshua.
Good morning, Shiko, and morning to the panelists.
Yeah.
A very great debate this morning. What saddens me, Shiko, today is that after having this discussion and debate today, we are going to have casualties on Friday, on Saturday, and on Sunday as a result of what we are talking about.
Right.
Number two, what angers me more is that majority of the people who perpetrate these crime or offense are the majority are the middle class. These are people who are educated. These are people who are learned. These are people who know the effect and the demerits of drunk driving.
Yeah.
When you look at drunk driving in Kenya, you realize that we are hitting a dead end because in terms of implementation and reinforcement and even legislating this particular offense, we are having an entire drunk system. And like what one of our panelists has said, you take people who are caught driving while drunk, and then their cases are being presided over by drunk prosecutors and drunk magistrates.
Right.
And allow me, during this time of our festivities, to make an appeal to to my fellow countrymen. I always get appalled when I see on TVs and watch news when we've had a very fatal accident.
Yeah.
And you see people saying that unajua dereva alikuwa anaendesha gari kwa kasi sana, alikuwa ana overtake vibaya, and nobody was talking about it. Can we try and change ourselves and move away from being a country of Wajinga Express?
Yeah.
And speak out. If you realize that the guy who is driving you is drunk.
That's true. Thank you. Thank you so much for that, Joshua. Charles is also on the line. Charles, good morning.
Hello.
Charles, can you hear us?
Yeah, nakusikia.
Okay. Sema Charles, karibu sana.
Kitu mimi hata nashangaa hiyo ikirudi kwa barabara.
Yeah.
Cause unapataga saa hii ndio wanasema kameiva. Wakirudi kwa barabara unajua kitu kubwa wao wanaangalia ni ile pesa inatoka. Unaona?
Yeah.
Na unapata hii group ya polisi na NTSA wao usikania. Yes, mimi ni driver na sijawahi shikwa juu mimi sikunuagi. Lakini sasa unapata yani it is opportunity for them. Unapata sasa hii ndio saa kameiva ni December. Unajua sasa hii ni wakati wetu wa kukula kabla Christmas iishe.
Yeah.
Na mimi kwangu mimi nasema I think they need to be learned before. And kabla wakuje kwa barabara wapelekwe shule wafundishwe venye to handle Kenyans.
Okay. Asante sana Charles kwa maoni yako. Asante, we appreciate it. If you never heard of Peter and Hannah Kibugi, they are the family that made news back in 2016 after they lost all 3 of their children and a grandchild on a road accident along the Eastern Bypass. And this is after a truck driver actually hit them. And this is a drunk driver hit their family car. And this brings me to the next point about what we see in terms of the effects of drunken driving. This is unimaginable loss, losing all 3 of your children in one day, plus a grandchild. And let me start off with you, Eric, on this one, when we talk about the effects that we don't understand, out there.
Sadly, I actually know Mr. Kibugi. I used to work with him.
Right.
So it was quite a tragedy for us and his former colleagues when that happened.
Yeah.
And I think the loss is not just economic, because you can imagine some of these people have dependents.
Yeah.
And you can imagine how that impacts the entire community if you incur such a loss.
Yeah.
So it's quite tragic, and I think that should be the point of reckoning, and for people to realize that it's that action of you making that decision to drive when you're drunk that you lose control and you cause a lot of suffering to families. And I think that's a burden you carry to your grave, knowing that you actually took away lives and impacted a lot of families negatively.
Right.
And I think that should be the thing that makes you think before you get behind the wheel that what might happen, because you never know your destiny.
Right.
Yeah.
In terms of regulations coming into place, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because what do we see on the ground, Mr. Kiarie? When you're at a bus stop, how many wines and spirits are there? When the drivers are waiting for matatu kuja, wanachukua kamoja. You've seen drivers are on the road with their kabottle. What do you make of all of this? Because it seems like, does it begin from the regulation?
Let me say, and I said that, our altitude.
Yeah.
And as one caller said, it is us. We must be responsible, all of us. Because when you are getting in a vehicle and you can see a driver is drunk and you are still getting into that vehicle, you see sometimes a vehicle is full to capacity and you want to squeeze yourself there like a bag of potato. So, you know, we have to be responsible. A case happened in 2017 and I happened to be in one of the roadblocks. We visited along Mombasa Road with NTSA and police, and I was surprised. a driver driving people, a passenger vehicle, when he was removed on that vehicle, he could not go back. He was extremely drunk. But these passengers were saying this guy was very much okay. But when this guy is driving, they have other things they are still drinking. So that person could have killed all those people. It was during Christmas time. So these things happen. You should, as a passenger, know who is this driver, who is...
And learning to speak up.
Yes. Please, if we are able even to speak, be courageous, even get out of that vehicle. You'd rather be late or not reach where you are going, but you are safe. Instead of thinking that you want to be at home with your relatives and you don't reach home. So it is important, and the most important thing it is for all of us Kenyans to be responsible. Make sure that you report any case you see, because that person who is taking you to Shago, you are paying him your money. You should have a very safe journey. But why do you let that person carry you, seeing very well that that person is drunk, and you are enjoying that? Why are you keeping
because
quiet?
I think there's that fear that you don't want to be the one to speak up, and you don't want to be the first one.
You have the fear. You heard the caller saying that after an accident, you will hear people talking that this driver was doing an overspeed. What were you doing? Why did you wait until that accident happened?
And you know, speaking, you know, on us taking responsibility of some of these things that are happening. Eric, let me indulge you on what we have also seen. For example, if you go online, we've got Alcoblow Watch. We've got alerts. There's even an image on one of the clips. If you noticed keenly, there are alerts at locals where someone comes, their scurry comes with a board written with chalk. Alert, police wako Langata Road hapa nje ya Carnival. Be aware. So they're letting everybody know, if you're drinking, this is the hot spot. So what do you make of that people can actually be going online to let Eric know, to let David know, please avoid this spots, because this is where police are?
I wish we use that energy to educate each other not to drink and drive. I think if we set up groups to tell people not to drink and drive, and communicate more about the effects of that, I think it would be more productive than warning people of where alcohol is. I don't think it's going to help anyone, because if that person suffers an injury or dies, you feel so bad that you actually allow them to do that. So I think we should get into that trigger and saying, and one of the things we're trying to drive is that campaign called Dunda Smart. So when you go out to Dunda,
be smart.
Be smart about it. Don't drink and drive. Ensure you take your car home, or you get a designated driver, and there are various options now available for you to be able to do that and get home safely. Like we are saying, and I think Mr. Kiarie has said, and some of the callers, it's about you being there for tomorrow. There's no point you drinking today and tomorrow you're not going to be there to celebrate. Because you're supposed to be enjoying these products that we produce, but not to your death.
It's true. Corruption as a huge contributor to this. You who's complaining that NTSA and police are corrupt, and you're the same one when you're leaving the bar, you already have your money at hand. Ndo ukifika hapo kwa roadblock, you're already willing to bribe.
You know, when we talk of corruption, let us look at it on both sides. That person who is bribing, and the person who is taking the bribe. So we are the people who are corrupt as a community. As a country, we are not responsible. And as you are talking about Alcoblow and online, I know a very good friend of mine who was warned there is Alcoblow there. Then he evaded the Alcoblow, but he ended up having an accident.
Oh no.
And accidentally that guy did not die, but he lost all his legs.
No.
So what was important? For the person who alerted that person, he is a person who made that person cripple for life. Because if he was not informed about the Alcoblow is on the other side, that guy would have been arrested, taken to a police station, and then the next morning they pay the fine, and the guy would be okay. So when we talk of corruption in this country, we only focus on police. NTSA officers are very corrupt. NTSA officers are very corrupt. What about yourself? You are the most corrupt person. And why I'm saying this, we have seen this now. It is not only about the police, the corruption. We see even our leaders are involved in corruption, depending on where you are. Now, the traffic policeman will be corrupt because he's on the road.
Yeah.
But given a chance to get to these big offices, we are corrupt. We have to change our way of thinking as Kenyans. Because corruption is killing this country in all areas. Come on the road. Corruption. Go in any area. Corruption is killing this nation. The day we will agree as Kenyans that we want to put corruption aside, many things will change. We will save lives. We will save our people. So the thing is that let us not shout talking about the police being corrupt. What about you yourself?
Why if you're willing to bribe.
Why are you ready to bribe? Why are you ready to give this money? And you complain of that police officer who is on the road because of taking that money.
All right. Peter from Dixon, from Moranga is on the line. Good morning, Dixon.
Yeah, good morning to you.
Yes.
Yeah, ukwaje?
Tuko salama, karibu sana.
Asante sana. I just want to participate in the mjadala here.
Yes, you're very welcome.
Okay, thank you. So, I was just saying, you know, in Kenya, we are so much ignorant. Concerning the matter of kwa barabara. Watu wanazusha hizi nini wakisema, unajua, you know, people even in this Kenya, there are a lot of drivers who drive even without license, but they are, wanajua wataenda walipe polisi alafu wapite. So you know, ignorance ndio inatumaliza sisi kama wa Kenya. And that's why you are finding in most cases some road accidents, kuna see a lot of watu wamesongwa na gari. Pia zinazuia barabara. So ignorance is the key factor in a hint kwa hizi. That's according to this.
Okay, all right, Dixon, your line unfortunately isn't too clear, but thank you so much. We've gotten a few of the points that you brought out. Speaking about some of the feedback that we're receiving online, let me just sample at least one here that comes in from Bonnie Majaliwa, who says there's nothing like responsible drinking. You are either a drunk or not. Addiction begins with tasting. So the point is here, what he's saying is that people can't really control themselves. Once you begin to partake in drinking alcohol, there is no stopping there, as in it is upwards and onwards now for you as an individual. But I guess it's a matter of perspective on that one. But speaking about our youth, and how do we, stop this habit of drinking and driving amongst adolescents? Even for you and your brand, of course, how would you go about talking to young people, to avoid and understanding the risks behind?
So one of the things that we are trying to drive is education and awareness. Because I think that's a critical part of it. And like I think even some of the callers have talked about, it's about behavior change. How do we change behavior? It's not by policing people, but it's about people taking their own personal decisions and realizing that it's an individual decision, whatever you do. But again, peer-to-peer conversations, because I think that's the only way you recruit people to understand what the impact of this has been. Someone who's lived through that experience, someone who has lost a loved one, who's lost a limb, who's not going to be productive for the rest of their life. That's because they made one wrong decision.
And you're doing this in schools,
and we're doing that in
institutions.
So we have already worked with the Parents Association and the Teachers Association as well, in terms of driving the messages through schools. We've worked with over 27,000 outlets in terms of driving those conversations within the bars, because those are the places people consume the products. But we think there's still a lot more that needs to be done. And that's why with the campaign that we're running, Join the Pact, is basically giving more information on what you can do, asking people to pledge, and just talk to your friends and relatives.
Are you seeing real change though on the ground? Are you seeing?
It's still early days, but I think it has to start somewhere. And it has to start with us having honest conversations and saying, this is wrong, and we have to put a stop to it.
Okay. I want to engage you a little bit in terms of some of the things that we are looking at if we are caught on the wrong side. Just to understand the fines that are in place. What does even the law really say about this offense? Coming from the Road Safety Association, I believe that, you're kind of conversant with some of these figures, some of these numbers. What are we looking at?
Sure. In fact, the fine for when you are caught driving while you are drunk, the fine can exceed up to 100,000 and a 2-year term jail. If you get a magistrate who don't drink and drive. That is the fine which you can get. But what I normally believe in is not about those fines, big fines or anything. It's about your own attitude. Because can you imagine even being fined 100,000 Kenya shillings? That is not much as how much money you can spend when you are involved in an accident. You break your legs, you break your hands, you break your lips. You will use more money. There is more to spend when that accident happens. And forget about how much you're supposed to spend. Think about the people who are behind you, who depend on you. Where are you leaving them? How will they be supported? And maybe you are, particularly these accidents which happen, most of the people, victims, are the people who have families. There are people depending on them. So you leave your family vulnerable. Your children will not go to school again. People start doing harambes for you just because you wanted to have to drink and drive. Let us save ourselves. The time you are not drinking and driving, you are saving another person somewhere. Your children, other people who depend on you. So let's not much think as Kenyans on the penalties which you will get there.
Because that's not the point.
But the repercussion of that accident, what will happen?
Okay, I like the way you phrased that. And you know, as we bring this conversation to a close, it's really all about a mental shift. I think that's where we are. It's a mental shift, because you can preach and preach and preach, and you as EABL, you can splash all the ads and the campaigns everywhere. But if it's not you making that personal decision, then we have a problem, right? Okay, so gentlemen, we want to thank you so much. And of course, if anyone would like to even join the association and become a campaigner, why not? That could definitely work for you. David Kiarie, thank you so much, the chairman of the Road Safety Association of Kenya. And of course, want to say a big thank you to EABL Corporate Relations Director Eric Kiniti for making time to be with us. Speaking about, you know, making a pledge this season, we're actually going to make our way to the white floor in just a moment. I'm going to ask my co-host to actually join us. We want you to explain to us about this, Eric, as we are winding up about this campaign. And we've got a board right there. So what is about the impact?
So we want to request you to join us in joining the pact. So we have our website, www.jointhepact.com. And one of the things that we're trying to do is to provide information for people in terms of responsible consumption of alcohol. But more to talk about also that you should not be drinking and driving. As we go to the festive season, we want this year to be a year that we can save the most lives as we can. So we are going to request you and your co-host and Mr. Kiarie here to sign on to join the pact, showing that you've pledged to join us in reducing drink driving, and ensuring that you can talk to your families, your relatives, and your friends, and ensure that they don't do that.
Okay, fantastic. So let's make our way to the floor and let's pledge, because that's what we're here for. You know what? This touches lives, every single one of us. And so, Jeff Mbuvi, Karibuni Sana, we actually want you to take a marker.
Can I take? I love blue.
You like blue? Okay. Jeff?
I'll have to love green, right?
Okay, all right. So I don't know if our camera can get that well. Okay.
So we just sign on it?
Just sign it.
Any special message? Just
anything you want to say.
All right.
Tusikunywe. Tukunywe lakini tuendeshe bila kulewa.
Na tuendeshe.
You know, you can also write a book. If you want to do this, there's plenty of options for movie. All right, there you go.
Thank you.
Let me take this on the side.
Okay. Ooh.
Wow.
Be safe.
That is all we want from you.
Brilliant.
Jeff, now we understand how you got into journalism, not teaching.
Sitaki for GUS, so I've just used that one. That's a special limited edition.
A limited edition.
Campaign. All right.
Okay. You matter. That's my message. Stay alive.
Wow.
Nice. I know, right?
The handwriting. But she cheated. She used the top.
Shiko. Or should I put Shiks?
Shiko
Kaitani.
Then sign on behalf of K24 as well.
Okay, Shiko Kaitani, K24 TV. Makofi au vipi? Okay, and of course for you, are you going to do it, Mr. Kiarie?
Yeah.
All right, there you go. Karibu. Okay. Movie, you can hold one side.
Yeah, hold one side.
Yeah, sure.
All right, thank you.
We need you.
Yeah.
Alive.
Come. 20.
Yeah.
Alive.
Thank you.
David
Kiarie.
Thank
you. Woo! Thank you.
Central Bank covered. That is the real one.
Yes. Thank you so much. Okay, well said. I don't know if you're going to be signing or have you signed so
I've
many?
already signed, but I was
You don't
still signing.
to see him signing.
We need to see you signing.
Mine is simple. Dunda.
Smart.
Wow.
Okay.
This is fun. Very
Signature
good for
Central Bank of
KBL.
And the 3 dots.
Thank you so much. Okay, so there you have it, gentlemen. What an amazing way to wrap up, of course, the show today. We've just made our pledge. You could be watching us at home, but we're asking you to do the very same. And even how are you going to talk to everyone in your household about doing smart this Christmas? I think that's the message at home.
Right, thank you. So enjoy yourselves, but like it's been written there.
Yeah.
We need you in 2020.
Yeah.
So do it responsibly. That's why we draw the curtains as far as K24 This Morning is concerned. We are not here tomorrow. There's a small break.
Yeah.
But we still have content for you on the show. We'll be back on Friday. It's going to be a hangout Friday.
Right.
Absolutely amazing stuff on the show. We leave. But of course, the Daily Brief comes up next. Samuel Njoroge and Shiksha Arora.
Yeah.
A keen eye on what's happening on the courts as far as that's concerned. And plenty more. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Have a good day.
Happy holiday.